today, as of right now, we got 5 replays. So if somebody has a 6, please let me know. We got a good mix of. We have a first one's going to be a VK301P, then an E50, then a T3485, then a Leopard 1, and then a T55A. So that's going to be an interesting one. I've never seen a game yet with a T55A, so that'll be a good treat. Pretty much predominantly a medium lineup, so that'll be cool to see. So yeah, I'll just give it a few more minutes, and then we'll get into the first replay. I'll just get it up here and start downloading it, and just give you a little bit of a rundown on this one. Looks like almost 2,800 damage, 3 kills. So did some work. It's on Kharkov. Just downloading it right now. And like I said, guys, there's at the end of the episode we're gonna be doing a bit of a giveaway. I'm still kind of debating in my head how I want to do it. Depending on how many people we have viewing, I may or may not make it open to just all followers as opposed to those that are just here, but we'll see how it goes. So, oops, sorry. Okay, so I guess we'll just get going with it, and people will trickle in as I do. Kharkov. Actually, one of the things I should probably do, I'll put up the 4 main points again. Take off the chat. Okay. So, Kharkov. First question is, what map is it? So, Kharkov is a pretty cool map because it allows you to play a lot of different lanes and a lot of different flanking maneuvers. Generally, where you'll see your heavy tanks play is either in this line right here. Well, they'll kind of either plug this or push up a bit. You'll see them also play this lane right through the middle here, as well as there's gaps in between these houses, and they'll play upper in this upper echelon area here. Although they go to the other places, you don't see them happen a lot. Like, you don't see a lot of heavies push the north. You don't see a lot of heavies go down here, though if they do, they might come down to this corner here. But it's almost like once you cross this gap down here, unless you're in something mobile, you're almost stuck there for the game. So if you can push that and win it, great. But if not, then you know, so you do see heavies down here from time to time, but I guess from my perspective, it's a little bit isolating because you can't really move around the map that much. And if the main fight's over here and you're isolated down here, then it's hard to get back into it. In terms of team composition, they definitely have more meat at the top. You know, a Saint Emil versus a Tiger, even though Saint Emil can actually hurt the Tiger pretty good, the Tiger has a lot of HP and can out DPM and kill a Saint Emil. So, you know, from the top even going down, they have a lot more HP than you, so that's something you have to consider in terms of your playstyle, is how aggressive do you actually want to be. Also, because your team's a bit more heavier in tank destroyers than theirs, you can kind of assume that your team's not going to be as aggressive as theirs, unless they are aggressive in TDs, and you know, that could be detrimental in the end, but so in your tank, you have a bit of a speed in the VKP, so what I like to do on this map when I'm in something a bit faster, and I like to take this upper road here and go as quickly as I can. So I go as quick as I can to this corner, see if I get lit when I poke around it. If I don't, proceed and try and get up to here. You have to watch out for artillery hitting you here, but what this enables you when you get on this backside is you can shoot down this entire lane, and you can also shoot on the backside of these guys. And when you get here, you don't necessarily want to just go crazy and start shooting them behind. You want to basically turn their turrets so your guys here can force up here. So the faster you can get to that position, I find the better. They've started to teams have started to shift where they'll actually have TDs over here now and artillery up here, so they'll actually have good shots on you down here. So you have to be a bit careful about it, but that's a spot that I like to go. They do have some big artillery pieces, so you just would need to be worrisome about that to keep yourself already safe. So we'll kind of just roll it and see where you end up going, where your team ends up going, and go from there. Yeah, so your Churchill's already kind of identified that they have, they kind of have the heavy advantage. So your team's kind of let south go completely, right? They haven't even, I mean, aside from your TDs that may be going down to watch it, a lot of your team's focusing north. Oh, your ELC just got tracked by himself. So, the thing you want to take into account when you get into positions is, you know, what's your intent of, or what's your goal of being in that position, especially early game, right? So, I mean, if you think about, you have your only firing lane at this point is right here, which means you need tanks from here to actually push out to that ledge. You're not spotting anything more than what this Stuart can spot. And you don't really have a way to support these guys down here without pulling out all the way, which exposes you to artillery this way and broadside to this way. So from an early game positioning standpoint, you're not really providing your team with anything more from this position. Like you have a very single dimension ability right now, and you're basically assuming that their enemy tanks are going to put themselves in this very compromising position out here, which really doesn't happen that often. So the Tiger's going low road. Get a shot on M4. See, because your team's already moved up on the bottom here, so you kind of know what's down here. And because of that, because like if you do a tank count right now, so there are T-29s in the south, their Tiger 1's up here, their other Tigers here, their T-50 or T-150's here, their Togs here, Fury's here. I don't think. Does he have a SU-100 doesn't have a shot on you. You just keep going down the list. 34, 85's here. Hellcat's here. SU-100's here. T-37's down here. Like, you actually know where their entire team is with the exception of artillery. So you know that you can be a bit more aggressive on this Fury and then hopefully clear out the SU and then help these guys in the south. Because the guys in the south aren't going to stand up to a Tiger. So you should be a lot more aggressive here because you know where their team is, and as long as you can stay artillery safe, you can put pressure on that Fury. But so what you're doing now is you're kind of giving them a lot of map control, right? You're coming back to your team, and now you guys are bottled up in a position, and their team is very much taking a lot of map control away from you guys. Which isn't very good. Now maybe there's not so much you can do about it, but the reality of it is your team is kind of getting circled now. So the Tiger's going to be coming in front of you really soon. So you got to be worrisome about that. There he is. Alright, so you have 5 seconds. Put a shot in. He's reloaded now. Nice bounce. So you have 5. I think you reload before he does. Okay. Now it looks like kind of you guys here are holding for the meantime now. As long as you can get this Tiger down. It's too bad about the low roll. Where are the guys behind you? Okay. Alright, so what you want to do right now is you want to kill that T-29 and let the Dicker Max deal with this guy, but fortunately your Dicker Max wasn't there to do that. Okay. Well, you got both of them killed, so that's good. I'm not shitting on the replays, that Badger. Nice track. Okay, so you get the kill. Let me just look at the map right now. So you have an Achilles who's pretty much overextended up there versus two tanks that are probably going to swamp him. Your Tiger's almost dead, and he's kind of down a firing lane, depending on where their artillery is. What's the HPs of the guys up north? Tiger has 700. SU 576. Fury full health. Okay. So you're probably your best bet at this point is, I mean, not to, like, you want to keep this guy alive, but if he gets hit once by that T-150, he's dead. And him and a Tog they're really kind of going to kill him. And for you to overextend, like, you may be able to try and go out here and get one shot in, but you don't want to stay there too long. Your kind of benefit would be to clear this T-37 from the south and then kind of guard cap from there, because that way these guys have to come to your cap I mean, yeah, that's where they're going to have to come to you. So the more distance you can create, the more they have to keep coming to you, and hopefully you can apply more damage to them as they come. So that's where I would go, just because... Wow, you get the kill on Tog. Well done. Ugh, I don't know why the Achilles pushed that, but maybe he didn't have a choice. I'll go back to your view. So the T-37 is coming down south. See what I mean? Like, he needed to be eliminated a long time before, because the more you creep up here, the more you're just putting yourself in an arty lane while you're still flanked from behind. So the Dicker might have managed to get the T-37, which is good. Uh-oh, SU. It's no good. So he's probably going to be able to reload before he can die, and the T-150's coming, so... Oh! Legend! Uh-oh. Are you not going to finish the SU? It's too bad. So, I think a little bit of feedback is on early game positionings on maps like this, well, just on any map really, is, so you ended up going to this position here, which... Okay, so you got one shot on the M4, but you didn't allow you to leverage any of the spots your ELCs got down here, and really nobody else came down that firing lane that you could hit. And then once that M4 went over the edge and whatnot, and then you knew what was north, you actually knew where their entire team was, and you could have applied a lot more pressure in the middle here, onto the what was it, a Fury, as well as onto the sides of the Tiger and stuff in the north. But you kind of pulled back and then just pulled in with your guys and gave them a lot of map control. So I think things to keep in mind is early game position, you want to put yourself in a spot where you can actually have a bit more impact on the early game outcomes, right? You know, yes, one shot on the M4, I get it, but you know, maybe had you have gone here, I don't know how many shots you might have got on the Tiger coming down. You might have traded yourself, I don't know. And then once you've got past the early game positioning, once you know where a lot of the team is, it actually tells you where the weak spot was. So the weak spot actually was that that Fury there, because they had bottled up their heavies right in here, which could have had a firing lane if you went a little bit too far, but the Fury would have a very hard time going through the front of you, like you saw that a few times with the Tiger and the SU. Like, you could have used the Rebel over here to actually abuse that that Fury, and if you got him out, then you would have had side shot pressure on these guys, as well as side shot pressure on the SU and the Tiger that were down here. So so that's the you know, I think those are the two things that I would kind of focus on, would be working a bit more on where you go early in the game, as well as identifying those weak spots, doing tank count, and seeing who's out there. But I do appreciate you sending in the replay, man, and hopefully that was educational of some regard. But yeah, thanks, man. So the next one is G Money's E50 on South Coast. A little bit of a rundown on the game. It is a defeat. You end up getting just under 4,500 damage, 2 kills, 1,000 blocked by armor. So let's download this here. And if you want to submit a replay badger, just put a link in the chat, and I'll do it as the 6th one. Oops, why is this not? Okay. Alright. So, hey Tank, how you doing, man? South Coast. This map, the tendency for people are the tendency on this map is whoever kind of commits first loses the game to a certain degree. From the north, it's very much a, you know, the kind of better strategy is almost just to camp. Like using the bush here to spot anyone running through here, because a lot of people from the south like to go fast around this corner and then get up on the backside here. So if you can get early shots in and early lights on where they're going, there's people who usually stay here. Conversely, on the other side, a lot of people like to stay here. And in the early game, I think it's kind of effective from the north because it allows you to see where they're going to go. So from the south, a lot of people like to come up here on this backside and shoot from here onto here. Like I said, from either side, whether it's through here or through here, people like to get into this alley on the backside here. From the south, you don't want to push up into this unless it's later game where you know where all their tanks are. And conversely, if they do push up here from the north, you can really eliminate them through shooting from the top here, shooting from the backside here, shooting through this lane here. Another spot that you can go from the north if you're quick is you can come around and come on this backside here where you're on the backside of this hill so you don't get shot from here, and you can shoot into the backside of the guys here as they climb up the hill, but it's only if you can get there early game. Playing in this area is a bit of a risk. If you can find the right buildings and the tank composition on the enemy team supports it, you can to some degree kind of fool around here, but to me it's too much of a risk to really put your tank away as an early game positioning. Beach is a little, I don't like going beach just for the sake that if you don't run into the enemy team, if you're hoping to run into them and you don't, you're kind of out of the fight all the way until you can get up. Which I've seen it happen and work, but it's kind of the one-off. So from the north, where I like to go, especially if you're top tier and something a little bit mobile, I like to go here early into this bush and see if I can get one shot. Once I get a shot, I go behind the rock immediately. There is no artillery, so that's good for you, but I go behind the rock immediately, and then I back off, and then I go find somewhere else to go. Tank composition wise, it's relatively even. I think that the lower tier, they have a bit better composition with the Bulldog over 37, 1375 over MT25. So at the bottom, they have a bit more of a stronger lineup. At the top, I mean, it's arguably they have a bit more meat, but you know. So we'll just let it go and see where you end up going. I'll make that mini map a little bit bigger. Ooh, it's pretty big. Speed it up a little bit. Okay. So when your team kind of goes out into the like this VK at the start is just not a wise choice. He's so overextended, and a lot of your team can't actually support him if he's getting shot from this area, if he's getting shot from here. Like it's very hard to support him in that position. So G Money so this is the position I was talking about, is when they come up this back side of this hill, you can come here and shoot them in the butt as they go up. So he's come over here and started shooting on them. So this is one of the positions that can help deny the back side of this. Oh, misses the shot there. I'm surprised that VK is still alive out there. So it looks like a lot of your team is committed out here, so it's just going to be a bit of a brawl and see who can kind of take the upper hand. I think they will, yeah, the VK just went down, so Boba going down is a good thing. If we just stop and look at where their tanks were. So IS-8's on the backside of this road, T-43 is down there. You know where both the WZs are. You don't know where the IS-3 or the Tiger 2 are. So those are some unknowns. They could be down here, or they could be back here. You don't know where their two TDs are. You don't know where the T-29 is. So there's still a good bit of unknowns. Your team is definitely heavy on the 1 to 4. So if they start to see more, then you need to be super aggressive over here to actually punish their team for taking or for putting so much over there. Like I said, your team hasn't really done you any service by really committing into this town area over here, because it's just so unpredictable. Like if their TDs are back here at all, they can just be raining down on them. So let's see what you end up doing here. Now you can't really get shots from here back around that hill, so you kind of need to move now over to here to get shots on these guys. But you want to make sure that there isn't any TDs in this spot right here that could hit you in the side. So, but you need to start moving and doing stuff sooner. Like now you're just kind of sitting and being idle, and you're a top tier tank, and people are dying on your team. So the longer you sit, the worse it's gonna be. And that's unfortunate. T-43 just jumped in front. I'm sorry about the crunch. Okay, so you get a good kill. Yeah, so your team, your challenger backed up, and that's what I was saying is, if they go in here, you can't really move up this far. So it's a good thing you didn't go up that way, but it's too bad for your team. So you get a shot in. Now your Kong's been able to hold it there for now, but we'll see what he ends up doing. So part of the reason I don't like coming over here immediately, like yes, you got back shots on that KV-13, but you didn't kill him, and now you're kind of you're not stuck, but you're just not doing anything. Your whole plan is to hopefully that this IS-8 pushes into you, which he's not doing anymore. And you can't really get any shots on these guys because they're on this side of the hill, and you can't really get shots on these guys because if you poke out, they're going to shoot you and hit you for more than what you'll dish out. So had you been on this side over here, you would have had shots all day on everyone that's in this valley. Like you would have been here and you would have just been raining down on these guys all day. So that's why I like to stay there first thing, is because if a fight breaks out here, you're feeding for days. Because right now, like what are you doing? You're just you're not doing anything, and you're a top tier tank. I know you're saying you can handle it, but the thing is, how long is it going to take you to handle him versus what's going on over here? Because your team is slowly losing over here. Like the WZ's in your base. Your 5100 is getting pushed in base. I think you just realized that, but see if we can put some pressure on him. See if you can track him. I don't know. It's too bad. So, I mean, even though that you were denying that IS-8, like, you're just not being very effective in helping your team where they need it, right? You know, like this WZ was able to walk in a base who now has your flank. The guys from Mill here were killing your guys on the side here, and the IS-8's still not even, he's not even dead. You know, the Conk still managed to live over there, which is awesome, but now you're just by yourself. Kill? Alright, so you finally got the kill on that. You still have to worry about this charioteer and the WZ behind you. KB-13 I think is, yeah, he's 66, so he's pretty low. So it's a bit of a risky play. I mean, I think you're going in for the ram. So he rammed you for more damage than... Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, yeah... that's unfortunate. I can understand why you would want to do that, but you kind of just threw away your tank when you guys had the tank lead. Yeah. So, what I would say is early game, yes, you can go over here, but you stayed here way too long against so little tanks, but you didn't have the ability to move up because of the charioteer and IS-3 that were here. Had you been on the other side over here, you would have had a lot more influence on this fight down here, because all these tanks that died right in here on the enemy team, you would have had side shots for the entire day, and even when that VK was there, you might have even made him live a lot longer, and it wouldn't really matter what these guys did over here, because even if they took this whole side and came up here, the amount of time it would take them to do all of that would have taken forever, and you would have actually cleared this entire side. So I think you kind of have to just do that spot check of like, okay, so how am I being effective in the position I'm at, and if I'm not, where do I need to go? So if that was where you wanted to go early game, fine, fair enough. But when you see that the fight is over there in that other side, and you're just basically handcuffed whatever on this side, that tells you that you need to move. Because if you can't push up and apply pressure, and if you're just being stable, especially as a top tier, then you're going to lose, because the top tiers on the other team are being more effective than you. So I think you need to move a lot quicker and go back this way. And then at the end there, you guys actually had the tank lead. And you really didn't even need to push that IS-3 like you did. And you knew that the charioteer was still there, so you could have just backed off entirely. You could have rolled off the backside. You could have done a multitude of different things, because you were at your top health. And you could have just basically came back. You could have gone on the WZ. You could have safely retreated and taken shots at the IS-3 as you went backwards. There was you had a lot of options, and you chose to essentially throw your tank away. So I think the combination of those two things is moving to where you'd be a bit more effective and not throwing the tank away at the end. Those are some of the things. So, but I do appreciate the replay, and I know you said you were at a Valentine's Day dance thing today, so hopefully it went well. So, let's get the next one. Come on, replay. What is the next one? Why is it? Okay. Fulmir in his T-3485. See what sort of damage he got. So just under 2,700 damage, 2 kills. So we will download this one. Redshire. Yeah, no, probably not. So typically, your heavies will go over to the 9-0. Not always, but typically. Your mediums, tank destroyers, lighter stuff from the south will either go in this area here, maybe play down the one line, might even help out on the 9-0, but generally it's in the middle area here. Your lighter scouts can be really effective if they go up into the bushes that are in here, because if they go there quickly, they can get lights on the tanks that are passing through here over the river. So if you're here lighting these guys, then these guys can get shots down here once they cross about here. Depends how high they're going up. Conversely, from the north, there's a bush right here that if scouts can get in here, they will light your guys going this way, and guys up on the hill here can shoot them down here. So those are kind of like, if you want to go 9-0 and you're in a heavier tank from here, take a bit more of a wider approach so that you don't get lit from this bush here, and you can get in there safely. And then from the north here, you're kind of screwed if they put a scout here and get up here. You just got to do it quicker. So being in a T-34-85, I mean, you're probably better off playing in this area here. That being said, your middle tier in a match where, you know, an IS and a Black Prince, you know, they're not so far ahead of you that you can't brawl with them. So if you wanted to go over here, you certainly could. You just have to be a bit more worrisome because you don't have as much HP as them. From a tank composition standpoint, they have a bit more HP than you do, so they might try and carry the fight a bit more. Your two Tier 7 TDs are going to try and be in positions where they can, or hopefully they'll be in positions where they can help do damage. But, you know, not having the equivalent of a T-43 and a Chiri up in this area or over here could be challenging. So we'll just kind of fasten up a little bit. Look where your team's going. So the two Tier 7 tank destroyers are going to the west side of the map, or into these bushes here like we talked about. Unfortunately, you don't have one of your scouts going to this position here, so you're not really going to know immediately what's crossing and coming up here. This is just not a very good area for, you know, if your Cromwell goes up in here, it's not very good because he can get shot from all the way along here. So you're you're kind of light over here, right? Your T-29 is taking the most southern pass road ever. Your AMX-45 is going over here, and you have an M4 being the front on the 9-0. So these tanks are probably going to get pulled pretty quick. So you're spending too much time looking over here, hoping you're going to get a shot on this guy, when you're losing tanks over here. Like, your friend needs you to be there. Because if you double tap these guys together, you're gonna live a lot longer. But now he's isolated and by himself, and you're not reacting quick enough. So if those guys get free shots on him, that could be trouble. Yeah, you need to be over there a lot quicker if you wanted to support him. So at this point, it's about tactically retreating and getting shots in as they come to you. They do have one artillery, so you want to stay a little bit mobile in case they target you, but you also need to be worrisome about this backside over here, because you're up on this side of the ridge of the hill, these tanks can have shots on you, so you need to get more into this dip down here instead of being on top. Hey Born, how you doing, man? Happy Valentine's Day. Watch the T-37 come on your side. T-37, T-37, T-37. Uh-oh. Yeah, you kind of let that T-37 just do a whole bunch of work on you, man. So you got the kill, but you let that T-37 basically chunk out pretty much all of your life. So yeah, we'll just kind of let it go from here. You want to let the VK do more of the pushing here. You don't want to actually apply the pressure because he has the full health. He can take the damage. He can go. If we just evaluate the map where people are at right now. So we lost our AMX-45 over here. Our T-29, we don't know his hit points, but you got a KV-85, a KV-1. Archer was last seen here. Chances are he probably hasn't moved too much, as well as the SU. Since they're platoon, they're probably in this area. The Chaffee is probably still up here because he's in the same platoon as them. So what that tells me is if he's still here, he's scouting or wants to scout anyone coming this way so these TDs can shoot there. So I would not go down this path. I would say no. I would come back. Which looks like kind of what you're doing. And because you just don't have hit points at this point, it's very much you need to kind of react to where the enemy team shows based on where your team goes. So whether you want to kind of just hang behind these bushes and just wait, but you don't want to go up too much in case that Chaffee can spot you. Because he'll probably spot you before you can spot him. Your T-29 is getting flanked. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. So these guys here really need to start helping him. He looks like he's getting really overwhelmed, and these guys are still not really doing much. So yeah, so they got the kill on him. That was good. You gotta be really careful here though, because if that Chaffee is still there, like that VK, I imagine is probably gonna get hit pretty hard eventually. Because if you do go low enough, you can get safe from that hill. But you certainly don't want to turn this corner right at this point. And you may be getting close to proxy spotting the Chaffee too. Okay, so there's Chaff. Yeah, be careful with those TDs up here though. Trying to find the angle on him, eh?
Ready to fire. I don't see the target. Ready to fire.
So when you're at okay, so the Black Prince just showed down here, and when you're at that range, I wouldn't lock in with the ready to fire, because the ready to fire goes center mass, and when they're specifically that far and kind of hold down behind a hill, you want to hit the top of them, right? They're turrets. So I wouldn't switch him. It's just going to make it harder for you to aim if you keep going back and forth between the, auto aim and whatnot. Full health Black Prince. Alright, let's see what we can do. You want to try and get around him? Yeah, so push around him right now. Yeah, there you go. You want to kind of turn his turret and make him, you get behind him shooting the bum. Yeah. Now you want to position your tank so you have the ability to go up the hill if he starts turning to the left, or down the hill if he turns to the right, and that's kind of what you've done here. You kind of have to watch out for the grill though, because he might just land on you. Oh, he landed on the other guy. Okay, so you want to turn, yeah. You just, you're doing it right. You just want to stay on the other side of his turret. Now this is where it kind of gets risky, because going through the front. You go side turret, yeah. One more. Okay, so you get that. You dodge the arty. Now your other team's managed to die, which is not very good. Uh-oh. Well, at this point you're kinda hooped, man. Polo SIS. So I think, you know, at the start, you guys were very light on that side to start with. So in that case, you really have to work together as a unit. And you spent a lot of the early game there looking at that archer on top of the hill while your buddy and the M4 were dying. And by the time you reacted over there, your buddy was already down to 1 hit, the M4 was already dead. And then you were so tunneled on them over there that you didn't do anything about the T-37 behind you, that you could have turned a lot before you even got behind you. And he took out almost like 700 of your hit points. So it was really, I know, right? I'm trying to like mash it. I don't know. You know, like I said, when you're over there on that side, if you're that, if there's not a lot of you, you have to stick together, and you probably didn't want your buddy to play as aggressive on that side. So you needed to react quicker to help your friend and the M4 to leverage their hit points, if anything. And then you needed to work on that T-37 a lot quicker before that, because you did a lot of work after all of that. But could you imagine if your buddy was alive and you had potentially full HP or half or whatever? You wouldn't have been able to take a hit. You would have been able, like, there was so much more you could have been able to do. And you know, a big thing about this game is keeping teammates alive. And you lost 2 teammates for, you know, at the time, nothing. A bit of damage on the T-43. It worked out that eventually he died, but you know. So I think those are kind of the things that I would work on, is reacting to what's on the minimap and what the enemy's showing you a bit quicker. And that would have maybe made the late game a bit more effective. So appreciate the replay, and we'll go on to the next one. And Born, if you want to submit a replay, just put the link in chat, and then I'll do it as the 6th one, because right now we have 5, so we got room for one more. The next one is actually one of my own replays. I just got the Leo recently, so I played a couple games in it. I haven't been winning a lot, but I've been doing a decent amount of damage in it, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. And so in this Leo game, I think, let me look at the score. So I did just under 6,200 damage, 4 kills. But the reason I have it is because it kind of, I wanted to showcase a little bit of what you can do in top tier tanks, especially when you're kind of down to the wire at the end, because it gets pretty interesting at the end. So we'll just let it run with that. So we'll pause it for a sec. Murovanka. Murovanka is a map where if there's artillery, it kind of sucks because there's nowhere that's safe, but fine enough. This map changed in the past. There used to be a huge forest over here. Now there's still a forest over here, but it's a bit different. You can see these kind of different sort of hills that you can use. These are kind of ridge lines as well. It's lower terrain here and a bit higher terrain here. There are some trees and bushes, so you can kind of use camo a little bit, but it's a bit more exposed. On both sides, tank destroyers like to hang on the back somewhere around here. Tank destroyers in the south, somewhere down here. Generally, your more brawly mediums as well as heavies like to come over here. And then on the other side of the map, kind of same thing. On these hills here, you'll have your hull down tanks kind of maybe playing on the top sides, doing what they want to do. And generally, more heavier tanks like to go the 1-2 just because they hate getting hit from invisible shit over here. But it kind of depends on the tank composition, what you want to do. Because once you kind of get here, it's very hard to pressure this if there's artillery and lots of TDs back here. So, you know, it's hit or miss where people go. The center part is often not heavily played. You may see scouts and stuff doing runs through here to spot where people are, but middle of the town is very much a mid to late gameplay area. It's not really where people go off the bat. If we look at tank compositions, we are definitely, lighter in terms of hit points, and alpha-wise, they have a bit more alpha, right? You know, they have an FV405, a WT100, to our, I mean, if you look at our tier 10s compared to theirs, they have more tier 10s and arguably more damage output. Well, not arguably, they do. And then they have very mobile tier 9s, and then they have, you know, 4 already to R4 already, and whether you think their RDs are better, I don't know. So what that tells me is probably their more mobile stuff will be going over to the forest area with maybe TDs in the back, or their TDs will be on this side. Artillery on the south really likes to be in this area down here because there's a lot of bushes and whatever, and they can have good shots anywhere. And artillery on our side usually likes to come in this, you know, this back side right here. Sometimes they'll go down here, but usually they like to come back here. So we kind of just roll it. I'm with my buddy Rockfish here. And so I think, let me just speed it up. So we end up going to set up over on this side, but the thing we notice right away, and the thing you'll notice, is there's not a whole a lot of tanks coming our way. So what we realize is we need to yeah, sorry about that. The thing that we notice is that we don't have a lot of support on this side. I mean, there's 4 of us and a bulldog, and a lot of our team has gone to the other side. So because we're not tanks with armor and we're not tanks that can brawl, we're taking a much reserved positioning where we can actually get out if we need to, and we're using bushes and camo. Like if you look what I'm trying to look through, to see if we can apply any damage while still getting out. So we're very much playing defensive on this side because all of our team really invested on the other side. And it sucks because our IS-3 is actually pushing up a lot, and we really just can't support him when he goes up that far, because the second we get lit, 4 artillery are going to rain down on us over here. Nah, I didn't get in trouble. I have a mattress and storage locker that I gotta move. So I get a hit on the 57. And like I said, it sucks that we can't really support our IS-3. Like, I felt pretty damn bad about this at this point. Just because, you know, they've showed a good bit of their top tier tanks over here. Like, 3 of their tier 10s and a tier 9 are over here. But I can't, like, if I go up into that, you know, what's going to happen? And we still don't know where any of their top tier TDs are. So unfortunately, we have to play this pretty passive and back pretty far. So unfortunately, I don't go through the side turret of that SGI. Like I said, you know, I really wanted to support the IS-3 because he was giving us all those lights up there, but there's just nothing we can really do to help him without throwing our own life away. So sorry, IS-3, if you ever see this. we were thinking about you. So already gets a good hit on that FV, but we still realize we can't be the front line up here. We just don't have the armor or the hit points to do it. And you know, even if a 57 came, yeah, we could hurt him, but you know, I could get clipped out or whatever. So what we're doing is we're trying to retreat away from here. The thing that, you know, we're realizing is you know, we don't know where a good bit other, so we don't know where any other artillery is, and we don't know where these 2 TDs are, yet our team over here is pushing into a Foch, a T-54, a Patton, 2 unknown huge TDs, and 4 artillery. They shouldn't be doing that. That is a no-no. Like, we need them to come back and help with this, because this is where the bulk of their team is right now. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to tactically withdraw as much as we can while still applying damage out to these guys. And I just can't go through his turret. So I'm trying to just position myself behind bushes where I can. Because the more that we can spot them without spotting us, and the more that we can let our artillery work on them, the better. But so missed that shot. I think I'm calling it to Rock here to get the 54. So Rock gets 54, so we save that patent. And so you see how our I-7 down there, like they're pushing up for no reason. Get the off path, and I'm using these bushes still because with my camo rating I can stay hidden even when I take those shots. Now this is kind of where we make a little bit of a mistake. Is we still have some people over here, and we've seen the E5 who was over here had shifted. Now an SDI moved up, but we should be a lot more proactive in actually scouting this side. Like if you see, we have 3 tier 10s over here who we're all full health, and we're not even trying to spot what's over here. And we know that this guy's left. We know that this guy's here. You know, and then we see the 57, and then we see, you know, like we see their team all pop up. We needed to move a lot sooner over here to spot this. So eventually we realize that, and that's why I start moving. But it's almost too late. Like, we've lost our entire team over here now. So I'm trying to get, you know, spot as much as I can. I'm trying to see if I can get behind that SDI and look at him. So SDI comes up. I don't really see the FV to my left there, but now I see him. And now I'm just scrambling because there's 4 artillery. And, yeah, I don't want to get hit. So, I mean, at this point, we've been really passive and really defensive. And, you know, at the start, I can understand why we did that. But when we started seeing them so much on the 1 to 3, I think we needed to move a bit quicker to start applying pressure on this side. So we ended up starting to do that. We get a kill on the FV. And because I'm lit again, I'm trying to stay mobile so I don't get artied. We've lost basically all of our artillery and our base. Our FV stayed back there. So what we did just there is we tried to do a sweep of the south just to see if there's anything that we would see. And then coming back north to our base.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So I'm hoping somebody gets a kill on the SDI here. Alright, so he gets a kill. Now it's just the 3 of us versus 8. I'm just trying to be predictable because I was spotted, or unpredictable, and you can hear all the artillery coming down. Our FV's dying, but I'm trying to create distance between me and the FV so that if I get into a firing position I won't get lit. So I'm trying to use these bushes here to get a shot on him without getting lit. So I move forward to make sure he's spotted, move back so I can shoot through the bush without being spotted, and just keep doing that again. So here there's enough bushes where I won't get spotted. So kill the FV without getting lit. Now try to work on the E5. So get one to go through the side turret. And this is the same thing again. I want to be able to spot him through the bushes, but then back up to fire. So I see him, I back up, get the silhouette, fire, go forward, keep him lit. Now the interesting one on that one is I got lit from that. Even though he was behind bushes, was dark, and I was behind bushes, I still got lit. So that, I was like, oh shit, because now not only did he shoot me, but already now is all going to drop around me. So one artillery miss. Speed up a little bit. So this is us being unpredictable again, right? We could have gone over there and tried to poke as much on the E5, but we know all 4 artillery are shooting on there, and the 57 and the WT are moving to come to that way. So our goal is to just shift, because he's not going for the cap, so that's not an issue right now. And we want to see if we can catch any other people coming our way together. And I'm taking points so that I can, I have more hit points, so if I can do damage and Rock can do damage from behind, that's kind of what we're trying to do. So I'm just trying to take points, see if we can see anything. When I crest, I try and use bushes to scout. We managed to light the WT. I get lit as well. There's one already. Get lit again, miss a shot. See, I know there's a lot of already that come in eventually here. So there's 2. There's 3. So all 4 just fired. So we know we're good for now. Getting lucky that the arty's not even be fair. And it's because they were looking up here. And that's why all those artillery shells were so sporadic, is because they had to shift all the way down when we spotted that WT. So now the thing is, we're going back north to get these guys, because we assume that E5's coming our way, which now we get a spot on it. So managed to get one to go through. And this is where I tell Rock to go around the other way. And I want to move because now Artie's going to be on me and I don't want to stay stationary. But then when he goes around that way, he sees a 57. Now Rock, he's able to kill the 57. 57 misses him, and then he drives in a straight line using the wreck to protect him, the wreck of the E5 to protect him from the 57. And then I know the 57 was just use all of his rounds, so I'm going to just basically try and kill the 57. But I basically have to circle this guy for the longest time, not getting artillery. I managed to bounce one because that's awesome. Artie's missing. He's reloaded, but I managed to get the kill. So now it's just 2v4 Artie. I'll speed this up. Now this is where we kind of make a bit of a mistake, because we've played all of that relatively well. Aside, I mean, not the early game. I think we could have been a bit more aggressive, but we played the comeback relatively well. But this is where I think we could have been a bit more strategic in how we got it, because there's 2 minutes left, and yes, we're driving together in case we spot one and to follow up each other's fire. But I think we would have been better splitting up. Just to clear, because at this point the issue is getting a draw as opposed to dying, at least for me. So we kind of realize that, and that's why we split up here to go on both hills. And so we get some lights. T92 misses, so I go just to engage him. And I see the M40, he misses. And then the M53 misses from wherever he was. And then I think it just ends up being a draw because we can't find the last guy. So the reason I wanted to show that was I kind of just wanted to showcase a little bit of the mechanics of what you can do when you have a tank with the crew. So I have full camo on that crew, and you have a tank that actually has camo on it, and the mobility, how you can leverage it to actually pull games back that you don't think maybe you could have. We certainly got lucky a lot with the amount of artillery that was being fired, but just kind of wanted to showcase a little bit of what you can do there, and definitely for us in terms of improving. I think, like I said, when we should have moved a bit quicker on trying to exploit that 9-0 side, because we waited way too long until we actually saw the tanks on the other side, when they probably would have moved, because they wouldn't have wanted to come into us by the time we had stayed there so long. So we were a bit slow in reacting that way. And then at the end, we needed to be a bit more strategic about how we spread out, and whether I went through the middle and over to the side and he went down the 9-0, and then we kind of just collapsed, and we might have got them all, I don't know. But yeah, so that was one of the replays I want to show. We'll get the next one. So the next one is KingYoshiLuca, and this is a treat. He's in his T55A. So this is for the personal missions that are going on right now. This is the third level one, so to speak. So the Stug 4 is the first. The T28 heavy tank, even though it's a TD, is the second. T55A is the third, and then the Object 260 is the fourth. So this is taken a bit of work to get to, but he's managed to get there. Oops. Come on. Come on. So it's on Sand River. Pause it for a second. And this is also the attack defense mode. So the north attacks, the south defense. Just looking at the tanks. So, I mean, you guys are a bit lighter than them. They have a few more heavies. Not so much heavy that are hard to deal with, like the IS-8s. KV4s, especially on this map when it's so open like that, you can kind of, being in a medium, you're a bit more at an advantage. In terms of defending, I really enjoy going over to this sort of G9 area and playing the backside of this hill, knowing that you can't get hit from the north. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll make mistakes where they go too far into this outlet and get hit from the people when they take the north. Or they'll crest this hill and stay there too long where they'll get hit by people from here, people from here, people from here, whatever. The places that people like to attack from, so for one, they're going to take this northern region here. They may even push up into here. You can kind of get a scout tank in here where you can spot without getting spotted, the people that are in here. Also, this area right here, people like to take in the middle. So, because in the middle here, you can get shots on the back side of this hill. You can get shots over here. You can flex around. You can do a lot from this middle position. And then people like to come from this approach down here. So, mainly defending from in this area here. TDs sometimes pool up at the back here, but I don't really like it as much. And then sometimes they'll go and get in the side nook here just to prevent people from coming around this way. I don't myself like going there, but I don't mind when people go there just to anchor it. So I typically I'd like to go around on this backside, but we'll see where King Yoshi ends up heading. I'm interested to see this tank and how it performs. So it's pretty much the same gun as T55.
Let's get this show on the road.
So it looks like he's heading over there. The mini map a little bit bigger. I imagine this is a replay that one of the guys or somebody submitted. King Yoshi submitted. So now it's okay that you're kind of by yourself a little bit over here.
Penetration.
Nice, get some good early damage in there.
Enemy armor is
Oh,
damaged.
just love it. Just free damage all day. And I mean, it's a Crusader SP on the other team, so it's not like even if he hits you, it's going to wreck your world. You're just making this hard for this guy, aren't you? Like I said, it's not like the end of the world that you're kind of light over here, because you can actually hold it pretty effective, because the whole point of this map is they need to get to your cap or kill you all. And I mean, one of the things is I don't know if I'd stay up there that long. I mean, it is fairly early game, so you can kind of get away with it a little bit, but you know, you're lit right now, so if anything's up here, or you know, anything has a line on you, you can kind of get hit. Oh, you weren't lit. Wow. Okay, never mind. My mistake. I thought you were lit. I thought you just didn't have 6th sense. So I don't know if you can get a shot on this guy. Sweet. Something's hit from your hill now, so now you gotta be wary of someone when you go up there, but Artie's on you too, but you know, it's Crusader, so screw Crusader. Bully the Cheery maybe. Low plate. Good hit. The other side's kinda getting crushed. Like their VKB is not in a very good position, but not much you can do about that. So I mean, you're doing work, you're doing damage out here. Whoa! Shook the screen. Yeah, that scared you, scared me, man. Yeah, that Shiri really isn't gonna have much use going through. Artie's still on you, but like I said, it's a Crusader, so you can kind of, if you can kill a tank to take a hit from it, it's almost worth it sometimes. Loading HE. Okay. I mean, I would almost rather have loaded heat and gone lower plater or turret or something like that, because, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I would have loaded the HE there. Yeah, man, yeah. Especially going through the tracks with K4, like, it's not really the best. So at this point, you know, if we just take a little spot check, your guys on this side have died. Which, I mean, sucks, but it's somewhat manageable given they still have to come over here. But what that means is you need to start clearing these guys out, which you are doing, but the threat for your guys in here is not so much this Cheery, but it's going to be this 103 coming on the other side. So I would actually flex over and try and eliminate him rather than working on this Cheery, because the Cheery can, for all he could just sit there all day and just, you know, not poke, but just be a nuisance. Whereas this guy can come up on the backside and start applying damage. So I would kind of flex over that M103 sooner rather than later, and it looks like that's kind of maybe what you were doing, maybe not. Because what you want to do is you want to keep these guys alive, this IS-8 and this FCM, as long as you can, so that people shoot them versus you. And so there goes the FCM. And it's like, this is not what you want to be doing at this point of the game. You're poking up into a position where all 4 of these guys can shoot you, as opposed to actually just having a one-on-one with this guy down here.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy is hit.
That 103 is coming up, man. I know you want the kill on the Tiger, but the 103, that's you know, now there's an SU. Like, I would have focused it, because you were focusing on targets that weren't actually a threat. Like the Tiger back there, if you're on this side, he can't kill you. The Cheery, if you're on this side, he can't kill you. All the IS-8, the Tiger 2, they can't kill you, but these guys can kill you. These guys can do the damage to you. So you needed to react over here a lot sooner to eliminate these guys, so that you could focus more on the other ones coming. Because now these guys are going to be coming down this way. This SU may be coming over here. These guys are going to be coming down this way, and you haven't dealt with these guys.
Enemy armor is hit. They're knocked down.
And now the Crusader's just doing work.
Penetration.
You're just kind of using the Rex where you can. Oh, that's an unfortunate bounce. So, you know, there's sometimes you can't do much about your team buckling. Over here, your team died very quickly, out of position if you look at these tanks. And that's something you can't really manage. You were doing a lot of good damage out here, but you needed to shift your focus to what's actually the biggest threat to you. And at that time, for one, it was only the M103 down here, and if you could have shifted over and dealt with him, even if you could have managed to get your, because you had an IS-8, you had an FCM, you had T-54 holding this side, and so both of you and the 54 are focused this way. The IS-8 was going solo against a hull down M103, and you know, chances are the M103 is actually probably going to win that. Already got the FCM, and then eventually you turned around, but then there was an SU, and the Tiger came, and the MT-25 flanked, and then the IS-8 came around this way. Like, it was a bit too slow to react to the most imminent threat. And I think had you maybe gone over here a bit quicker, you know, you might have had to switch to heat to go through the turret a bit of the M103 reliably, but if you could have eliminated him, it would have made the SU second guess coming this way, and then you might have been able to more effectively manage both fronts. So, I mean, you obviously did a shit ton of damage, and unfortunate the team buckled so quickly, but I think that's kind of where you needed to shift a little bit. And then you kept poking up and staying on this top ridge, I think, a little bit longer, and you took only one hit that went through, but you took a few hits that obviously bounced, but you know, I don't think you ever really want to expose yourself for that long on top of a ridge, because what if you get tracked, you know, well, you know, things like that. So, but all in all, good game, and appreciate the replay. Too bad it didn't work out. It was a pretty quick game. So the last one is going to be Mr. Bourne's replay. Oh, he's got a win. Okay. Well, we'll end it on a win. I like to do defeats and draws more than wins, just because you kind of learn a bit more from them. But see what we can do. Come on. Okay. So South Coast. So we already had a match on South Coast. We were in the north, if you remember that, with the E50, where we ended up going over here. Now we're in the south. We're in a 140 tier 10 game. No artillery. Like I said, you know, from the south, people tend to like pull up on the backside here and be camo to shot on the backside of the hill here. They like to rush down this lane and get in on the backside here. But you have to be careful about people who shoot from here. This area, although I wouldn't recommend going there at the start. No, it's all good, Born. I don't have another replay, so I might as well do it. Although I don't recommend going there at the start, like we saw in that game of the E50, that's where a shit ton of people went. So sometimes you kind of luck out. From the south, you can kind of go on the back side of these rocks here at the start as well. If you know, because if your team goes through here, and if you get any lights on the back here, you can shoot them from here. So sometimes it's an early game position where you can actually go here and shoot them right here early. And also from up here, if there's anyone in the town area, you can kind of get shots through there, as well as people on the beach sometimes. So depending on the tank I'm in, and depending if I'm top tier, bottom tier, what I want to do, sometimes I'll go here. I think in the 140. You want to be careful. Like, you could go down here and try and get on the backside here. You just have to be really careful, because they're a lot lighter, and if they want to counter that or get in there before your team can support, you might get eliminated quicker. So, you know, you can certainly go there. It just might be a bit of a risk depending on where your team goes to support you. Let's make this bigger. So it looks like that's what Bourne's doing. He's going for a little bit of a run. Yeah, the 54 doesn't spot you, so you just want to be careful, remember, of those guys on the back side of this hill shooting you in the butt as you go up here. It's weird. Why is it? Huh. Okay. So yeah, I kind of like just looking up there just in the event they do go. He's checking it back there, but you can almost just keep your turret stacked there. This STI popped up behind you. So he's going to play the backside of this rock, which is fine. You just kind of react where the enemy team is. Now you want to be careful too. Like, it's good that you're getting lights on them, but you want to be careful that these guys don't just suicide into you and kill you. That sucks. So I think you've seen the T-62 and the Object 140. They're both over there. So there's one more 140 somewhere. You're making it hell for these guys, which is good. Roomba fired, so theoretically you could go in and get a shot on him because the WT doesn't have depression. And I think you'll have enough to get one more shot in. There you go. Oh, so there's the RU. Oh, are you gonna take a hit? Oh, okay, good. Uh-oh. It's gonna be hard for them to pen you if you stay down in there, so you don't really want to go that high again until you eliminate a bit more of them. I don't. What's the 54? Is he? No, he doesn't have a shot. Okay. So the thing he's doing, and that's the thing you need to do, you need to be a bit more unpredictable. Like, you can't just stay there. Like, you got the kill, that was great. Now he's moving to see if he can help on this side. So when you take this position, it's very much a yin-yang where you bounce back and forth to help this side, then to help this side, then to help this side, then to help this side, and eventually you either push up this way or push up this way. So he's bounced back over here. A little bit of trouble with the depression. E5's looking at you. Ooh. I mean, it's going to be a bit hard to get on that E5. Maybe you can get the cupola, but it's kind of hidden. Yeah, it's just going to bounce all day. I mean, when he comes out, you can hit the cupola, but you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with this guy if you just sit here. For when he's full health, and you have to actually take down all of that through, you know... I would almost just leave him and be like, this E1 is a better target for you, you know what I mean? Or I just don't think investing so much time on this guy right now is a priority because it's just going to be so hard to go through effectively and to go through enough to kill him. T-62 shows up. Do you have depression for him? I don't think so. Yeah, because I mean, you guys had a big lead, but you're spending a lot of time on this one guy, and honestly, you're really not going to go through him reliably a lot. Those are just auto bounces all day. So now you want to focus on these mediums. I don't know why they went out in front of you knowing full well that you were there, but it's good for you. Because now you can just kill all of them without being hit. Yeah, that 62 made a mistake.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
The E5 might have moved. Yeah, he moved. So if you can get on the backside, kill these guys before the E5 comes up on you, that'd be good. So that's what you're doing. But, I mean, because you spent a lot of time focusing on that E5, like if you look at the other side of the map, all your guys here died, and you lost all the pressure on this side, and your guys in the mid all died to the E1 and all that. So, I think, you know, you spent quite a bit of time on one guy that really just wasn't going to do anything. The bonus was you were still in position for when the mediums came up, so... Yeah, you gotta be careful about that WT up here if he's still there. I almost would have gone on the other side and gone on the back side of the E5 because your team's letting you know that this whole grid here is clear from where their positions are. So you could have gone on the back side of the E5 and shot him from just up here. But needless to say, you're back in their base, so hopefully get the kill. Looks like you're loading HE. See if you can get a one-shot kill on this guy. Nah. Yeah, you need to aim that into the actual turret of the WT. If you just hit the body, it's not going to go through all the time, especially if it's tracks. One shot flame, how you doing, man? Oh, nice. Get the bounce. See if you can kill this. Ooh. Is that an aim shot or was that an auto aim? So I mean, if we just take a pause and look at the map, so you have more or less. Well, I wouldn't say this. I mean, you have this one grid, you have this 3x3, and then you have 54 over here with a very isolated E5. My goal right now would be to probably kill this E5 with you and the 54 just to jump on this guy, because honestly, this T95, he may survive whatever, but I mean, this guy's in your backyard, whereas these guys are in front of you. So you kind of know more or less where these guys are, and this guy can kind of cause havoc. So that's where I would go, and we'll see what works out. Oh, on the move fire. It's devastating. You have to watch out, though, for the T95s and stuff behind you, right? You don't want to just get nailed out of the blue from them. I'm doing excellent, man. I don't know what hit their T-54, but he just got nailed. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. Really appreciate it. Uh-oh, T-95. Oh my god! Run! You want to keep buildings in between you and him, man. You don't want to get hit. Alright, so you save your T-95. I think the T-95 shot once there, so you have a little bit of time. And you see how your 54 is over there dealing with the E5 by himself? It could work out, it could not, I don't know. But yeah, you know, it's kind of a toss-up, right? Like if you weren't over here, you wouldn't have killed the E1. Maybe the 95 would have got him because he was looking that way, but then the 54 came. So, I mean, got a 54 and an E1 for a 54. Good trade, I guess. I don't know what the health of the E5 is. So yeah, you're doing kind of the next thing is you're clearing grids, right? So you're going down this way to see if you can kill the 1390. Chances are the 95 won't have dropped down on the sand, so he's probably coming up this way. It was a one-shot tiger as well, so you can pretty much run this entire line, and you may get the 1390, you may not. You may get the tiger 2, you may not, but you'll get on the backside of the 95, which is what you want. And on the other side of the map, you got two TDs that are going to be able to kind of hold down the C5. So your team's in a really good position right now to kind of just let them come, which is they are abiding. So PTA gets kill, that's good. So now you can just kind of feast for days on the 95.
Target acquired. Penetration. Target unlocked.
We track them. I mean, I would have tried to go for the backtrack there when you could have, but because the back one's going to do damage, the front one from that angle not so much. But needless to say, you got the kill. I noticed you stayed behind the rack because you heard something fire next to you, so I don't know who's got a shot. Might be the 1390. I mean, you can be pretty aggressive at this point because of where the 1390 is, and even if you took a hit from the E5, your reload is a lot better, and you can kind of just play with him a little bit. So yeah, you can be pretty aggressive on him. I think he saw you though, so. So if you take the first hit, PTA comes in, double stack your damage. You just don't want the PTA to die to the next hit. Like you should be going in and not letting your PTA die. Yeah, that. So when he fired and hit the ground there, you should have just been going straight at him. Because now, not only was the gun of your PTA got taken out, but you didn't get even close enough to do damage in between the times that the E5 shot. Because in the time he shoots twice, you can shoot 3 times.
fire. Everyone get out.
Yeah, so you really need to actually leverage your Leo at the end there. You kind of duked him a little bit because, you tried to bait the E5 to fire, which you did, and then you kind of were acting as if you were going to go, but then you only went up slightly enough to try and get a snapshot, and then pulled back, and then the Leo just went because he thought you were going, and then he just got blown up because he had committed too far, and yeah, but 1390. If that 1390 can get behind that JP, it'd be interesting fight. Oh my word! What's the 1390 doing? He's either got to get in there and help gauge the WT, or... Oh. Wow, that was a good shot. If that JP did not hit that one... Oh, your WT! He's just not doing it. Alright. Finally hits a shot. Yeah, so I think you did well. You got into a strong position without losing any hit points to their mediums, which is a scary sort of a risk because of their lineup. I think you spent way too long trying to get that E5 in that one position like that. It was just in such a strong position with this couple on the other side of the rock that it's just like, it would take you years and all your ammo to get through it. That being said, it left you in a position where you're able to apply damage to those mediums, which is good. When it came to the late game, I mean, there was that call where you went to go get the E1 and the 54, but knowing that the Tiger 2 and the 95 were still in that C3 area, I would have been a little scared about crossing that path. And you didn't get hit by the T95, but he did have shots down you if he hit you on the move. So conversely, you lost the 54 on the other side when you could have killed the E5, which late game was really the thing that killed you, was that E5. So I would have doubled with that E5 and the 54 early. Anyways, you kill those guys in there. You came back around, which was good. Then you really needed to leverage your teammate a little bit more at the end there with the Leo. You kind of baited him in and got him killed when really you needed to take that first hit, and then you both could have hit him, and it really would have made it a lot easier to close out the game. So, but appreciate the replay, my friend. Okay. So that's the last of the replays. So I see, let me see right now. So including myself, there's only 4 people in chat. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'll give 2, I'm going to do the giveaways now, but I'm going to give 2 of those bundles away. Let me show you what the bundles are. And I realize, we're not at exactly 50 followers, but I said I would do it, so I'm going to do it. And then I might try and give one away just to the broader group of followers. So let me just... As seen, window capture. Okay, so the thing that I was going to give away, where is it? Is this one. So I was going to give away, why is it not edit scene? Hold on. That's not what I wanted. Artificial for you. Oh wow, that's not what I wanted either, boys. Okay. Hold on a second. Holy cow. What did I do? What did I do, boys? There we go. Didn't mean to do that. Add. Game capture. I just want it to be the actual entire window. There we go. Okay. So this is the thing that I'm giving away. So you get 1,200 gold, 1 day premium. I know that's not really a lot, but I don't know. It seemed like a good one. And then a garage slot. And the reason I wanted to give this one as opposed to maybe a bit more gold is, I think for people who are a bit newer, sometimes not actually having those garage slots is a big thing, and they cost like 200 gold when on regular days, so it's actually quite a bit more. So what I was going to do is just do a little bit of a draw for those that are in here. Now is everyone here? Like Lenny, Born, Goggles, One Shot. Are you guys all here? Maybe? Maybe not. Because literally right now there's only 2 of you. Come on! Alright, so Lenny's there. Okay, who's the other one? Beer Goggles, you there, man? All I need you to do is just type something in the chat, Beer Goggles. So I'm using this program, basically just runs off of people that are active in chat. And I know I could just literally flip a coin or do something like that for Jesus just for you, but I want it to be as transparent as possible, so. Yes, okay, so we got our 4 boys. Alright, let me do... Okay, so what I'm going to do is just resize this a little bit. And then I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to add one more. And I'm going to call this one sec. Does that one work? Okay, let me just test something real quick. Okay. Cool. So, basically what's going to happen is I'm just going to hit this roll button a couple times. Well, once. I'm going to hit it once and see who wins. And then I'll give those 2 away. And that is my cat MrLokoReborn. So, without further ado, I'm just going to roll the first one. Alright, so 1 shot. You won, man. So what I'm going to do... Now, I don't know if I can add another player. So what's your in-game name, One Shot? Is it the same as trying to make this work. Ooh, not very good. I'm just resizing these things. Well, you won this time, man. Solarflare 5. Okay. Now I'm just going to take this off to put... Oop, there goes the phone. Hopefully somebody else gets that. Just going to take this away for a second. It's just taking its sweet time. So I'll do it one more time. So unfortunately can't win again one shot, but for the rest of the 3, ooh, so excited. Let's do it again. So in order to receive that gift, it should have gone through now, one shot. So if you go to let me see here. I think you pretty much have to. That's not what I wanted. So if you go to, if you just log into the Watt website, I think you go to your profile, and then my gifts. I think it's in there. So check that, and let me know if it's in there, because I want to make sure that you got it. Do the other one. And no, you guys don't have to type again. I have you all in here, so I'm just gonna roll it and see who we get. Lenny, my man. Lenny, you're the winner, man. What's your in-game name? Is it the same thing? Can't remember. Come on, Lenny. Come on, Lenny. Sweet. Looks like you accepted it, man. Glad I got through. So is your same? Oh, so it's just Drunk Lenny 78. So just gonna have to. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't want it for my own. Add another player. So Drunk Lenny 78. Alright, so I was gonna take this off again. And so I want to do one more. So it's just too bad I couldn't give one to everyone. And I do appreciate, Born and Goggles being here. So I want to do one more, but what I want to do is I want to do it to the larger. Who the fuck is G? Why is that on there? I wanted to do it to the whole kind of group of people. I just don't know of a way of actually doing that. So I need to figure out how I can do that. Because I have kind of a log here of all the guys that are followers. Oh, drunk Lenny. Yeah, so I hope. I mean, the intent of doing the giveaways is I really hope that um, you know, uh, whatever you want to use the gold for is up to you. But whether you want to use it for free XP to get a module or a tank that you've always wanted, or whether you want to buy a lower tier premium tank or whatever. I just think it's kind of giving back and making it so for for those that may not be able to just spend a lot on the game can kind of get a bit more involved and have a bit better of an experience. So uh, yeah, hopefully it works for you guys. Well, see, the thing is, I have I have all the people. I just don't. Maybe what I can do. Uh, Maybe I can do it this way. Yeah, I was gonna do that where I wasn't calling you Forest Fucker, right? This is just putting it out there. I want to match destination. No, that's not. It's not gonna work. Hmm. Lenny is taking its sweet ass time right now, so we'll just bear with me. Basically, what I want to do is I want to be able to roll on so whatever. Um, yeah, I want to be able to roll on all the followers that are there. Oh, it looks like it just went through Drunk Lenny, so it should be there. So I need to find a way to do that. Because right now it only lets me do giveaways on people who are active or people who put in a keyword, and not just everyone. So I need to find a way of doing that. So that's how I'll do the last one. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed episode 6, and congrats to those who won the prizes. And hopefully, maybe Born or Galaxy, you guys might be the ones that get the kind of overall bigger one that we have. So I was thinking that, but when I put it in a spreadsheet, it puts it all in one cell. So if I come on, is there any way let me put another one in here. Order move up, add window capture. So, I don't know if you can really actually see that on the screen, but so it just puts them as, all separated. Is there a way to? I'm pretty sure there would be. Is there a special paste that does it? Match destination, no. Paste HTML text. I just don't know of a way of separating the actual commas. That's my only. Is there like a random function? Returns a random number between the numbers you specifically specify. Is there? Special format. So what? Send you the list? I don't know how to freaking do that, man. Send you a message? Page. Oh, I didn't know I could do all that sort of stuff too. What? There, I sent it to you. I know there's a way of doing it. I'm just a freaking idiot right now. Like, I use Excel all the time, but the basics. Yeah, I sent you a Twitch message with it, man. There's got to be a better way, and I need to find out how to do random selection. Looking it up right now to see if there's a easy function out there. Born struggles of my life, my friend. I do love learning new things about Excel because I use it all the time. But so Excel's rand function is a pretty simple function on service, as you can see below. Simply typing rand in a cell produces a random number, random between. Okay. I mean, I guess I could just do a random number between 1 and 48, I guess it was, and then assign numbers to each person. I just need each person different. I'm saying? In their own cell. So are you guys finding the replays helpful? Because you know, one of the things that I'm noticing is you know, I post for I post the you know, everything on Reddit to get replays, and you know, if I pull it up right now, add window capture. So if I were to go to submitted. So for example, if I go to, this is the one that I posted on Reddit. There's zero. It's a 50% upvote and 0 points, meaning it doesn't have a lot of visibility. So I don't know if that's because people don't find it valuable or if it's hard to find when I post it. And I also notice that I don't get a lot of replays submitted. So it's a little bit of a struggle for me to do this because I don't actually get a lot of the content to do the replays. So I don't know if you guys think of any more effective ways of getting a bit more visibility on it, because I'd like to have more replays and I'd like to have more people tuning in just so that we can kind of get a bit, maybe a bit more farther reach in terms of impact into players' play. So, I mean, if you think it's beneficial, maybe help me come up with ways and different strategies for getting that visibility, because right now it's a bit of a struggle. So, do you like watching me play as well, or is it just really more for the replays? Are you saying, Born, are you talking about the Watt Labs or the actual Watt forums? Because I've posted on the Watt Lab forums and nobody even responded. So it was even more. Let me see. Maybe gameplay discussion. Yeah, Lenny. Because I don't know. There's no way for me to send out a message to followers. That it just doesn't exist in Twitch. So my only way of sending a message out is really to start my stream, and if you have notifications set up, it sends you an email saying that I've started streaming and this is the content. So aside from that, it's a little bit harder for me to kind of let people know that, hey, look, there's this thing. Um, how's it coming there? Beers? It look like it's something that's gonna materialize, or is it not really working? In between. Sorry, I'm just typing something real quick. There we go. Are you just manually separating each one of them? Because if you are, man, I could have done that. I thought there was some sort of ingenious way of breaking, comments and all that stuff up. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, man. That's a good stretch. Pretty excited. I get to go up to, I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the West Coast, but going up to Fino today, so. Yeah, Lenny. I mean, when I. Oh, 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 Freddy. Oh, oh, there he is. Oh, just so heavy. Hey. Well, I appreciate you doing that, Goggles. You didn't have to. I'm still gonna say you're a smarter man than I am, and we'll just leave it at that. Hey, buddy, you looking at? Fly on the wall or something? Oh, the pets. Just gets the pets. Yeah, I know there's better ways that I can. I've thought about making maybe like a Twitter or something like that, and then can use that to get it out. But then people have to be subscribed to the Twitter, and I don't know. It just seems like there should be an easier way. Oh, cats on the loose. Where you going? Where you going, bud? What you doing? No scratches. No scratches. No scratches. There we go. Oh, what are you doing, bud? I think he wants to go. Leap. Oh man. Yeah, I guess I could just, I don't know, thinking. Ah! Oh, talking about other stuff. You know what, boys? I might just say screw it and just give y'all, just give each one of you the prize, and then people who didn't want to tune in didn't get any. Is that weird if I do that? Because technically that's what I was originally going to do, is just give it to people who are here. Alright. What's both of your goggles and boring? Give me your in-game names. Same name, okay. Just because you went out of your way to do the Excel and because it's boring, so whatever. So I think what I'll do for now, just because, um, it was my original plan just to give the was to give out to people who were viewing. I was gonna give them away to that, and I was only gonna give away 3, but since there's just 4 of you guys anyways, I don't want to be that guy who only gives it to 3 or 4. Then the other guy's like, no, and it's really not that expensive. So let's do this. God damn it! Now I gotta spell your freaking name, man. XB33RGOGGL 3. Ah, there it is. Ja. And then maybe I'll play a game after. But I'm gonna restart the stream so I can cut this off. Here goes. Should be through. And come on. MrLokoReborn. Yeah.